Hello friends. In this video, I will be discussing regarding causality and propagators. Why we need causality is in some sense related to the fact that you see we have operators, we have field operators. So they vary from space-time, one space-time to other space-time point. Now the problem will occur if suppose if there are two operators like O1 and O2, and if for xy, if they are outside the light cone in some sense, in the other sense, that is if the distance, if the space-time distance is space-like separated, or the points are space-like separated, this means the distance is zero, less than zero. So when this occurs, then if the measurement can change the outcome, then we can say that there is a instantaneous signaling or information is flowing from space-time point x to y, because we see that the measurement outcome is getting changed. That means there is some sharing of information. So to avoid that, what we need is that the commutator of this operator for space-like separated region must be equal to 0. So this square is the Minkowski dot product square, and this is xy are the four vectors. And we need to put such a condition, because you see, if this happens, then these operators will be diagonalizable simultaneously, and hence measurement of one operator will not affect the other, because they will have a same set of eigenvalues, they will have a same set of eigenvectors. So with this, we try to calculate a particular kind of operator that will be of interest, that is this one. So how do we proceed to calculate this? We just plug in the field operators as we know them, and then we can see that we will just expand this commutator, and then once we do that, so these are the parts, we can see that AP and AK, they will commute because of the AP and AK dagger commutation relations. So as they commute, the opposite term here, that will be AK, AP, it will cancel because of the minus sign. But when AP will hit this guy, it will not be able to pass through, and we will get a similar contribution here. So in the end, we will see that it is easy to see that we will get a commutator of AP and AK dagger out of this commutator when we solve it. So now once we get this, we can just directly write this as 2 pi cube delta of P minus K, the 3 vector. And this is these all operators, this annihilation creator operators comes with a 3 vector. And so with this delta function will collapse the K to a P, and the integration will happen, and finally we will end up getting a result of this form. So you see, now here I have defined this result to be of this form, in which means that dx comma y. So dx comma y is just a function whose definition I have taken to be this entire thing. So in other words, if I write it, so dx minus y, it is integral dqp over 2 pi cube, then there is a 1 over 2 omega p e power minus I p dot x minus y. So this dot product is the 4 dot product. So with this, we have defined such a function, and we are seeing that the commutator is written in this form. But this function is some special function actually. So what happens is that we can check. So in the previous video, I have shown that phi of x acting on 0, it leads to a sort of superposition of single momentum state. What it means is that it is like creating particle at a space-time point x. Then if we consider this particular quantity that I have written here, this quantity is like a amplitude. This is an amplitude which is saying that creating a particle at a space-time point y, and what is the amplitude of finding that particle at a space-time point x. So this particular thing. Now this entire amplitude which represent this thing, it can be evaluated explicitly, and it is quite again easy to see, because you see 0 will be annihilated by the annihilation operator. So in other words, if you have this such a product, only a term which have a dagger on its right side and an annihilation on its left side will contribute out of all possible multiplication. So hence if we look at this term particularly, phi x phi y, the first part of the commutator, we see that there are four terms of AP and AP dagger, out of which only one term that is precisely this term, will have such a non-zero factor because it is getting squeezed by these vacuum states. So now, once we have realized that, we can bring it to a better form by trying to move this to this side. We will just move this to this side by introduction of a delta function. But once we move it to the other side, we get something of this term. But this will again get annihilated and will go to 0. So when we do that calculation, we will end up getting this particular thing. And this thing is nothing but the dx minus y that we have defined. So dx minus y, so the calculation will be 0, if I try to do that, ak dagger 0. This is nothing but 0, then we introduce the commutator ak dagger, but the commutator will have this term minus the other term. I have to remove it, so ak dagger ap 0. So this term, when it is squeezed with these two, will cancel. So this term will give me a 2 pi cube delta cube factor. And that delta will collapse the k to give me this thing, which is precisely dx minus y. This dx minus y is called the propagator. So dx minus y is the is similar to the amplitude of creating a amplitude of finding a particle at a space-time point x, which has been created at a space-time point y. And now we see a very important thing is that the commutator that we have evaluated is the subtraction of these two, and the which is this two amplitude. So one is that a particle at y, it got created, and suppose it propagated to a point x, and what is the amplitude of finding it at x, and another one is it created at x and propagated at y, that is this particular. So these two are cancelling to ensure our causality, and what we say is that the propagation of particle from a point y to x cancels the propagation of, in this case the propagation of particle is cancelling the propagation of particle from x to y. But in a general scenario, in case of these free field theories, propagation of a particle will get cancelled by a propagation of antiparticle. So this term here is like a amplitude for antiparticle, which is cancelling the particle amplitude to ensure causality. But Klein-Gordon field, we have just single kind of particles because phi is a real scalar field. So we see that particles are cancelling, because particle and antiparticle are same, as there is one kind of particle. Now you see, so this has a nice meaning, and further we can see something more, that is that if we look at this particular commutator, this has a form of this, this particular commutator has a form of this entire thing. Now in this thing, these dot products that appear, they are Lorentz invariant. These are the Minkowski dot products. Now let's discuss about this measure that we have here. So this measure turns out to be Lorentz invariant quantity. Why that is so, that I have shown here, because you see the measure is of this form. Now you can introduce another dp0, the time axis, here the momentum means this is the energy axis, and then you can put a delta function so as to ensure this inequality, because you see the delta function will give omega p and dp0 will be integrated over to get this. Now what you can do from here is that we do a trick. What we do is we say that delta of a square minus b square, that is p0 square minus omega square, is written in this form. But now this can also be written as omega p square minus p0 square, and this denominator can be changed to p0 because of this equality of these two delta, the arguments of delta. And now if we just restrict that ourselves on p0 greater than 0, we see that if p0 is greater than 0, then this part won't contribute. So we can see that there is this part which is equivalent to this part, but this part that we see here, it precisely occurs here. So we can put this as 2 times that, and then what we can do is we can finally get to this particular equality. So the measure that we start from here can be brought into a form of integral d4p delta of p mu. Now due to this p mu argument, which is manifestly Lorentz invariant, this entire measure is Lorentz invariant. And as this entire measure is Lorentz invariant, so you see, while going from here to here, everything is fine. Here to here, I have introduced a theta function where I have taken p0 greater than 0. So the actual thing is like theta of P0 also is here. So but the main point is the measure is Lorentz invariant. These quantities are Lorentz invariant. What it means is that this commutator is Lorentz invariant. Now this has a nice implication. So you see, we see that this commutator is Lorentz invariant. Now if we look at points separated time like, suppose this particular construction of space-time interval is time like, because t square is greater than 0. We see that if we put this particular construction in our formula dx minus y minus dy minus x, we will get a non-zero result. It is easy to see here, because you see there will be e power, there will be let me see. So there will be e power minus I omega t minus e power I omega t, but this will not cancel each other. But you see, now if we take x minus y to be a space-like separated, that means x minus y is form of, so x minus y is of the form of 0 comma some position vector, such that x minus y dot product x minus y is minus r square, which is less than 0, which is space-like separated. We see that it will be exactly 0. Now this is also easy to see, that we can look at here. So you see now e power, if t is 0, then I will get e power p vector dot r vector minus e power minus I p vector dot r vector. And there is an integral d cube p. So the integral d cube p can be brought inside, and in the second term I can take p going to minus p. So this essentially converts to p dot r minus e power I p dot r, because p goes to minus p and cancels. So precisely we see that for time, for space-like intervals in a particular space-like reference frame, we see that the this commutator vanishes. But as this commutator is Lorentz invariant, in all space-like separated frames, it will vanish, because two space-like separated frames can be related by a Lorentz transformation. But the Lorentz transformation will keep this this commutator invariant because of its nature. So hence we have seen some important insights to causality and the fact that our theory is causal. So precisely we saw that these propagators dx minus y, they came and they defined amplitude of propagations, and we saw the cancelling of such amplitude, interpretation of such cancellation. So that's all for this video.